Nigeria. Welcome to our weekly program, Giant Strides, powered by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, where we discuss all things power, energy, and electricity in this great nation. I am your host, Jules AK, and I'm delighted to have you join us today. The past couple of weeks have been quite eventful in the energy and power sector as several noteworthy events took place, and I'm here to guide you through all the happenings in this complex and ever-evolving sector that holds the key to the future of our economy. And so, without further ado, let's dive straight in. The Nigeria International Energy Summit 2025, NIES, held from the 24th to the 27th of February at the Transcorp Hilton in Abuja, Nigeria, brought together key stakeholders from the global energy sector to discuss present issues and opportunities in the industry.
You're welcome.
Amongst the persons of great significance present at the event was the Managing Director of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Engineer Jennifer Adigije, who featured significantly at the plenary session with the theme, Bridging Continents, Connecting Investors Worldwide with Africa's Energy Potential. She highlighted exciting opportunities in the energy sector, emphasizing NDPHC's Eligible Customer Drive, which is an initiative to direct power supply for the growth of industries.
The NDPHC was incorporated to drive the NIPP project, and the NIPP project was a fast-track initiative of the government to scale generation and transmission grid capacity. And therefore, it is the express mandate of the NDPHC to carry out intervention projects across the entire gas-to-electricity ecosystem. And we have been doing that very well, and we're still positioning very strongly as the largest investor, the largest entity to invest across the gas-to-electricity ecosystem. We have 10 generating power plants, 7 commercially operational, and therefore our needs for gas, are very dominant. And we also have a system in place to ensure that we eventually convert our power plants or upgrade our power plants from open cycle to combined cycle, meaning that we would begin to rely less on fossil fuels, and that would also be in line with the energy transition plan. And also, as part of the NIPP Phase 2, we're supposed to also transition to reliance on renewable energy resources, taking advantage of the solar and tidal potentials up north. So with the proceeds of sale or privatization of the NIPP Phase 1, we hope to quickly accelerate the execution of the NIPP Phase 2. But it's also important that I mention that the power sector is one that is driven by demand, is demand-driven. And so the activities in the downstream electricity market would determine our generation capacity in upstream. And let me commend Mr. President for a number of initiatives that he has put in place by effective policy making and regulation. For instance, the Presidential Metering Initiative that the SA Energy had spoken about. With that, we're able to address some of the gaps or the major gaps in the downstream electricity market. The downstream electricity market is essentially driven by 4 key parameters, which is your billing efficiency, the collection efficiency, your ATC&C losses, and the DISCO remittances. And quite a number of policies, quite a number of interventions are in place to ensure that we bridge these gaps. And by doing this, we'll be able to increase the demand on that end. And when the demand is increased on that end, we can also generate more. And with improved DISCO remittances, we can also secure more gas, which is our feedstock, and improve the liquidity in the sector, which is our major confounder at this time.
She also shared key insights on NDPHC's effort to improve Nigeria's energy infrastructure, implementing workforce empowerment initiatives, ongoing projects, and strategies to increase electricity generation capacity in order to contribute to the nation's energy security and economic development in line with the President's Renewed Hope agenda.
In addition to effective policy making and regulation, I would also like to mention that effective legislation and lawmaking is very key, which gave rise to the Electricity Act 2003 that we're now operating under, which essentially sets aside the suboptimal EBSTRA 2005 Act that we were working on before. And what the Electricity Act focuses on is essentially to decentralize the electricity market, which has led to the liberation of the other subsectors. And also, as you would know, the market is now rapidly evolving, and we also have a regulator that is very effective. And last year, there was an order, mandating all electricity practitioners to transition to bilateral trading, which has essentially opened up the market and has created opportunities, so many opportunities yet untapped. So, for instance, we can now trade bilaterally with eligible customers and electricity off-takers and bulk electricity traders. And so there are lots of opportunities for even the gas suppliers who are here to procure trading licenses and to ensure that we can now dedicate a significant portion of our stranded electricity. Stranded electricity is the electricity that we cannot commercialize. We can potentially generate, but we cannot commercialize for one reason or the other. And so there's so many opportunities. And so I'd like to end up with corroborating what the Honorable Minister said. I think this is a call to action for all sector players across the gas to electricity ecosystem to come up with strategic partnerships that would ensure that we drive Mr. President's renewed hope agenda, which is to advance access to electricity for vulnerable Nigerians.
Thank you.
Another round of applause.
At this auspicious event, the NIES Industry Award recognized Engineer Jennifer Adigije for her invaluable contribution as a speaker at the summit.
Okay, Mr. Mohammed Mijindadi, go ahead. Go and give it to the ES. Go and give to the ES, yes.
It is noteworthy to state that the event featured high-level participation from government officials, industry leaders, and experts, focusing on Nigeria's energy landscape and its role in the global energy transition. The managing director was not the only member of the NDPHC present at the event. Also in attendance were Engineer Omorige Ogbede Ihama, the Executive Director, Strategy and Commercial, Olufunke Wankwo, the General Manager, Communication and Public Relations, and Bashiru Bello Adoke, Head, Gas Commercial, individuals who play significant roles in ensuring that the NDPHC achieve its aims and objectives. This event served as a platform for dialogue and collaboration, addressing critical issues plaguing the energy sector in Nigeria, as well as exploring opportunities for the growth and development of this sector. Light up Nigeria. These words are sure to bring hope to all Nigerians, young and old, rich and needy, large corporations and small enterprises. Every single Nigerian is bound to feel the effect of this much-needed initiative of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. The Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, who is the chairman of the Board of Directors of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, NDPHC, says that the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is currently committed to powering industrial clusters across the country. This development is in line with the administration's renewed hope agenda of industrialization for economic advancement and prosperity. The Vice President gave assurances that all power projects, both inherited from previous governments as well as new power projects geared towards the Light Up Nigeria initiative, will be executed as soon as possible.
Privilege on behalf of President Bola Ahmed to commission the injection station at the College of Agriculture.
With this, he commissioned a 15 MVA distribution injection substation capable of delivering 12 megawatts of generated power to Borno State.
You have so far put on stream about 3 or 4 of our power plants that have been dormant for decades. And this injection substation has been laying dormant, abandoned for ages. You brought it to fruition, you brought it to life. I want to commend you and be rest assured that the federal government will continue to support your organization towards meeting the yearnings and aspirations of the Nigerian people.
The Niger Delta Power Holding Company is the vehicle with which the current administration aims to achieve its target of improving the nation's electricity supply and the development of new power projects. With plans underway, this administration will ultimately deliver a reliable supply of electricity to homes and businesses under the Presidential Power Initiative, creating for a better and more prosperous Nigeria. Nigeria has once again taken bold steps in its efforts to revitalize its power sector. Notably so is the government's recent announcement to regularize the country's electricity tariffs. This decision will address the significant disparities in tariffs between consumer bands to ensure that the current tariff, which is deemed unfair, is now regularized and harmonized across board.
Worked not just in Nigeria's power sector but globally.
The federal government has taken a significant step concerning the power sector and has unveiled the National Integrated Electricity Policy in Abuja. The National Integrated Electricity Policy is a document designed to guide Nigeria's power sector towards universal electrification, inclusivity, and sustainable development within the sector. To bring to life this policy document, there has been extensive consultations with industry experts, stakeholders, as well as development partners with the aim of transforming Nigeria's electricity sector into a resilient, efficient, and inclusive system.
It should be obvious to everyone that the UK and Nigeria enjoy a long-standing relationship, and we're proud to continue supporting first-class infrastructure development that leads to sustainable economic growth and also helps us build mutually beneficial strategic partnership for both of our countries. It's with nostalgia, it's with pride that I recall being in meetings, retreats organised by NIAF and the Ministry for Power, delivering different work streams that have culminated in what we're witnessing here today. Our support in the power sector to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has developed databases and tech-driven analytical tools that enable it to track electricity delivered at feeder level in real time from GENCOs through TCM to DISCOs, monitor outages, track on-grid emissions by GENCOs, monitor the delivery of metering levels, of compliance with metering regulations, and take regulatory action based on findings from these real-time analyses. There's more than one thing that is required to create a market. Obviously, we won't outline them today, but it includes the enforceability of contract, the fact of liquidity in a market, and consistency of policy. But let's also note the role of the regulator in ensuring a regulator that is skilled and empowered to take regulatory action, which is central to the successful functioning of any market, and an electricity market is no different. Today's events mark a great milestone for the sector in delivering the Nigeria Electricity Policy and the Nigeria Integrated Resource Plan for Nigeria's energy sector, and demonstrates the commitment of UK and Nigerian governments to addressing Nigeria's energy sector challenges. Specifically on policy, it demonstrates Nigeria's commitment to tech-driven, evidence-based, sustainable energy planning for Nigeria within a context of policy certainty. It provides a framework for coordinated decision-making across federal and state MDAs, multilateral agencies, donors and industry stakeholders. And it's superb that so many industry stakeholders are also represented here today. It promotes a sustainable energy mix and energy security by reducing reliance on a single energy source and enhancing resilience to supply disruptions. For the private sector, a key player in this, it emphasises the vast investment potential and the opportunity for private sector participation in developing a competitive electricity market that encourages investment in an energy mix that transits through natural gas, carbon capture, utilisation and storage to sustainable renewable energy technologies. And this enables the procurement of grid-connected renewable energy projects and helps open investments that leads to exponential growth of the electricity distribution subsector. The role of energy in economic growth, is obvious to everyone. Energy is a key economic enabler, and we can't overstate the potential for energy as an engine of growth. On environmental sustainability, these policies will help Nigeria align Nigeria's decarbonisation goals by promoting clean energy technologies and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. These are all indicators that are important to the diverse set of energy sector stakeholders who must be proud today of what's been achieved by the Federal Ministry for Power on behalf of the Government of Nigeria. The UK's Development Office efforts, support and programmes like NIAF are driving systemic change and creating policies that foster a conducive environment for the growth of the Nigerian electricity sector, leading to greater efficiency in socio-economic activity, business expansion, innovation, and growth in national economic productivity. And with our continued partnership, we can further strengthen emerging investment opportunities for the private sector, particularly in infrastructure development, but across the electricity value chain, including renewable energy.
To drastically reduce the country's dependence on distillate fuel to power national productivity, and we need to close the gap between available generation, transmission networks, ability to wield the available generation capacity. I truly think that there is a slight error on number 2. It's supposed to be closing the gaps between the installed capacity, yes, and transmission network ability to wield there's a gap there really. So, and then we need to close the gaps between the installed generation capacity and available generation capacity. So this speaks to the fuel for the generation companies. And yes, close the gaps between installed generation capacity and the gas infrastructure required to power the generation units. So investing in state electricity markets to close the electricity access gap and deliver distribution infrastructure that is required to deliver energy from the grid to users. Build additional 2 gigawatts of hydropower capacity along with accompanying transmission lines, of course, for evacuation. Construct and bring to the grid the 14 solar IPPs with power purchase agreements and reinforce transmission network resilience to receive and deliver additional renewable energy generated electrical capacities. So this investment opportunity speak across the value chain. We need to tidy up all that to really have a reliable and resilient grid.
The focus on the policy is the integration of renewable energy sources, enhancing grid reliability, and promoting sustainable power generation. The document also outlines interventions across the entire power value chain, from generation and transmission to distribution, with the aim to ensure reliable access to electricity for all Nigerians. With this new development, Nigerians can rest assured that giant strides are truly being taken for the growth and development of the power sector, leading to an end in power crisis and a hope for a brighter future. On Friday, February 28, 2025, at the prestigious Palace of Westminster, House of Lords, United Kingdom, a significant event took place. One that not only honored the exceptional leadership of individuals from around the world, but also recognized those whose contributions have made a lasting impact on global economic development and investment. This year, one individual stood out as an exceptional example of leadership, commitment, and vision. The Managing Director, CEO of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Engineer Jennifer Adigije. She was named and awarded as one of the top 100 influential global voices of 2025 by the Leaders Without Borders International Economic Development and Investment Business Summit. The Leaders Without Borders International Economic Development and Investment Business Summit is one of the most distinguished platforms renowned for celebrating leaders who have demonstrated excellence in fostering international cooperation, global investment, and development across various sectors. This award speaks volumes on NDPHC's impact and commitment to driving sustainable energy solutions.
Clap for them.
Engineer Jennifer Adigije is a name that resonated at the event, as she was also awarded Professional Doctorate in Leadership and Management by the City University of Paris, and as well admitted as a Fellow of the Chartered Institute of Management and Leadership, USA. As the Managing Director, CEO of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, she has worked tirelessly to bring transformative change to the Nigerian energy sector and beyond. Her leadership has seen the expansion of power infrastructure and the promotion of renewable energy solutions across the country. Under her guidance, NDPHC has not only been at the forefront of power generation and distribution in Nigeria, but also established itself as a global player in the energy sector. This award recognizes her hard work, dedication, and the global impact of her leadership in the area of economic development, sustainable energy, and public-private partnership. Congratulations, Engineer Adigije. Nigerians are proud and look forward for more to come. Welcome back. I'm sure that you can agree with me when I say that the power sector is making truly giant strides, both locally and globally, within the energy sphere, with the leadership of the NDPHC under the visionary leadership of Engineer Jennifer Adigije at the forefront of these events. What a remarkable accomplishment. Certainly, all is on course towards the growth of the power sector, and Nigerians can look forward to greater improvements. So, until next time, I remain your humble host, Jules AK. Thank you for joining us.